Hello everybody and welcome back to Screen Stars. The Belko Experiment is a movie that I've been very interested to see for a good few months now, and it is a movie that is the brainchild of James Gunn, the guy behind the two Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and before that the lesser known but excellent Slither and Super. Now this is a movie that he wrote and he had every intention of directing apparently, but he pulled out of directing because at the time he was going through a divorce and he didn't feel it was a good idea to make such a violent movie while he was going through a divorce. Um, but when it came to this film being made, he apparently hand chose the director, who is Greg McLean, who directed this movie. Now, this movie is a really, really well cast movie. It's got John Gallagher Jr., Tony Goldwyn, Michael Rooker, Sean Gunn, James's brother in it, as well as a few others. So it is a really, really well cast movie. And the movie essentially is based on there is an American based company called Belko Industries, I believe, and it's in somewhere like Colombia, and there's all these American employees work there, and it's like out in the middle of nowhere, and every morning they drive out there and they go in, do the job, then they go home. And we learn in the movie that the majority of them have been there for about a year, and when you join the company you have some kind of minor surgery where they put like a little, what they say is like a tracer in the back of your neck, because there's a lot of kidnappings in that country, and if it happens to you then they can trace you. So all the employees allow them to do this to them. So they turn up for work one morning. Things are a little bit different. There's like armed guards there, and some of the Colombian nationals have been sent home. But they just assume it's some kind of threat that they've received, and they're just being cautious. But fairly early into the working day, there's an announcement that comes over the speakers in the building, basically saying that they've got, I think it's something like 30 minutes to kill 2 employees, or there will be repercussions. Nobody believes it. Everybody thinks it's some kind of hoax trick, and so they do nothing really. And then it all kicks off. The people behind the speakers flip a switch, and as it turns out, it's not a track you've got in the back of your head. It's a mini bomb, and they start flicking switches after 30 minutes and blowing the heads off about, I think it's about four or 5 employees. And then they basically turn around and say, right, now you've got 2 hours and you've got to kill 30 employees. If you do not kill 30 employees in 2 hours, we will kill 60 employees. And that's when this film really gets interesting, because there's these dynamics that take off. You've got the ones with the morals on one side saying we cannot take human life, it isn't right, we need to think of another way, and then there's them on the other side saying, hang on, we need to merely think about this logically, we potentially need to kill 30 to save 30. So there's 2 divides happening at this point, and it only gets worse from there, as you can imagine, and it brings out the worst of some people's human basic primal instincts, and the need for survival brings out the worst in pretty much everybody here, some more than others. Now, that's the story. I won't go into any more detail. What I will say about this movie is that it is a very, very well made movie. It's superbly acted. It's got a fantastic cast. It looks great. Everything about it is high quality. The main thing that lets me down with this movie is, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the movie. There isn't any surprises in the film, really. It kind of goes exactly how you expect it to go. There's no real surprises. The ending, I was really hoping it was going to be a bit more impactful than it was, or a bit of a twist or something, and whereas they give you that, it's a little bit tame. It kind of weakly indicates that there is space here for more movies. But Other than that, I mean, reasonably minded. It doesn't make it a bad movie, this, because it isn't. It's a really good movie. It's good to watch. It's interesting. It's thrilling. The gore is there. Everything's there. It's just what I expected to see. I got basically. I didn't get anything more. Um, what I found really interesting is when I was researching the movie is that there's these clay animation shorts on YouTube that you can find. That were used to promote the movie, and they were really fun. I suggest you look them up on YouTube. Just put Belko Experiment clay animation, and you'll find them. So it's hard to say this film was a disappointment because it isn't. It's a mild disappointment. I would have liked to have seen them do something new with going against type, whereas the ones that you thought were really moralistic at the beginning turn out to be exactly the opposite. And but the kind of people you expect to turn psycho, and the people you expect to be moralistic are. So it doesn't really go against the grain in any way, but it doesn't make it a bad movie. It's an interesting movie. It's an interesting uh, take on the human condition, but it's nothing wholly original. But if you're looking for um, a decent movie, a decent horror thriller with lots of gore, good tension, well made, well acted movie. This is the one for you. It's quite a good gore fest. It's quite a good fright fest. It does build tension excellently. Just don't expect anything massively new or different here. It is just a well made, good horror thriller. This.